Hi, everyone. Jeff Lee here, Program Director of TMASF Connects. I'll once again be joined by Jen Pollard, our Chief Operating Officer, and Shirley Lin, our Marketing Associate. Today, we are continuing our series of informational interviews with Dale Roberts, founder of Centarus. As a disclaimer, please note that Centarus is a partner and the IT team of TMASF Connects. We are continuing our series on cybersecurity, and today's topic will be on the idea of personal IT. We're going to be focusing on hardware and software that you own. We do have a fact sheet available online, and notes for some of the terms used today will be available at the end of the video as well. Jumping right in, Dale, for individuals that have been off-boarded from their companies, what should they be aware of? What do people typically take for granted when they have support from an IT team?
Yeah, hey, Jeff. So I think the most important thing to remember is cybersecurity and computer maintenance it's an ongoing disciplined approach. So it's something that should be a layered solution and managed usually. And if you're no longer in an environment of that nature, it's something to kind of really remember. Keep that in mind for your own home office environment or personal environment. It's not always okay just to purchase the latest and greatest antivirus from Best Buy, for example. And you're all set. It does take constant education and awareness. People usually tend to forget how much an IT department is doing or should be doing. So, for example, they're in a structured IT workflow solution. You're managing the patches. You're looking at something called zero-day threats or vulnerabilities on an ongoing basis, especially this day and age. There's wireless security and monitoring that your IT department should be doing. You want to take into consideration for your personal environment. Malware and virus patterns analysis using something like an EDR and MDR solution. It's basically, it's a systemized process your IT department should be following to maintain and manage your systems.
Thank you.
Sure.
So Dale, for those individuals who use their personal device for work, and we'll use the example of Outlook on their mobile phone, which then gives them the IT support from their company, right? So what should they do for a checklist to maintain that personal security when they leave the company?
Yeah, really good question. Well, the first thing you want to do is to basically have that individual speak to the IT department directly and make sure all software, all the management software, security software, patching software, remote access software is uninstalled on all their devices. And that can be the laptops, any home office desktop they may have been using for that employer, any tablets, any PDAs like your iPhone or your Droid, and make sure all of that is uninstalled. Sometimes there's DNS filtering solutions that has what they call endpoint software installed. So all that should be completely uninstalled. And there should be a detailed checklist, as mentioned previously, that people are following. So after that's done and completed, you want to think about having an EDR. So a home office environment is the router is pretty much worthless for most providers these days. It's not an actual managed firewall. So you want to focus on your endpoint device. And one of the best ways to do that these days is to have what they call an EDR and MDR solution type of software. So you want to purchase one of those, use on an ongoing basis, and then keep your system patched. That's really important to keep that patched and updated for security updates and prevent from viruses. You can do so automatically on the PC and the Mac. And maybe just as a safeguard, you may want to put a kind of reminder in your calendar once a week, once every couple of weeks to go in there and check for updates manually, which isn't a bad idea. Lastly, big deterrent of highly emphasize security training. So there's some great solutions out there just for consumers where you can sign up and educate yourself on an ongoing basis.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. You bet.
And Dale, what types of security software should they have? And is there a difference between computers and mobile devices?
So, as mentioned earlier, it's home office, the default provider usually is not going to provide the type of protection you need for this. So the emphasis should indeed be on the endpoint. and that there's a couple providers out there that have been around for a long time that are offering EDR and MDR solutions. So that I think is a primary focus for that. And also, it's important to remember that you want to install the right type of security software on the device based on the role or the data it's housing. So, for example, the type of security solution or software you're going to install on your laptop or your desktop is going to vary or is going to differ compared to what you're going to install on your tablet. Which you use to, let's say all you're using your tablet for is watching movies on Netflix. So where it won't need that much of a concern, but being aware of it, what's out there. But I think that's really the most important thing to remember is thinking about your data and the type of device that it's on.
Okay. And is it more effective to have software from the same company for all of my devices?
Yeah, it is imperative to have the right tool for the job. A lot of vendors are striving for that because there are a lot of needs out there, from monitoring your traffic on the web, how you navigate, and DNS protection versus how is my data traveling? How is it protected in a local device? How is it protected when traveling across my network? So, the downside is it's not always the best solution to have everything with one vendor. Could be a single point of failure. Think of like all-in-one printers, for example. You've got fax, printing, scan, email. I just want a printer that prints. So, and sometimes it's the same solution with your router. You go to a solution, you buy a router, and it's doing DNS management. It's doing wireless. It's doing some other type of protection where you just need it to be a router and perhaps a firewall. But so, like anything, it's most imperative focus on the right software and the security for the immediate task at hand.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
You bet.
So Dale, we've covered many topics on cybersecurity, from suspicious emails and messages to managing passwords to wireless connectivity, to lost devices to the cloud. Do we need targeted security software for each of these issues? Or do you think that their software addresses, all aspects streamlined in one package?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the answer is yes, we definitely need the right tool for the job and the right solution. And I think, get back, as I mentioned earlier, educating yourselves and finding out what the threats are and the loopholes is very important. So security is always changing, tactics and malware and viruses. So it's very important to keep yourself educated and updated. Talk to professionals if you're no longer working in an environment where you have that professional IT department. Go online, talk to friends, talk to colleagues, and educate yourself on really what's out there. So, but having the right tool for the job, I think, is the biggest takeaway on that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you betcha.
So wrapping up on this topic of personal IT, as usual, Dale, is there one takeaway that we did not cover that you would like our audience to know about?
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I really think educating and doing some type of cybersecurity training is the best thing you could do possible. And it's tactics are advancing, and there's social engineering these days. There's phishing, there's malware, there's 0-day vulnerabilities or just threats in devices we use, and that can be on from a router to a laptop to your iPhone to the next IoT device. And so just keep yourself educated and just ask questions. Don't become content. Don't become displacent with cybersecurity. You've always got to pay attention.
Thank you for your time today, as usual, Dale.
Bet.
We hope everyone finds these videos helpful. For more information, please visit our website and see our facts at tmasfconnects.org. If you want more information on IT solutions, please reach out to Centarus at centarus.co. Thanks, everyone.